Hello, I'm back again, fans. Notice the difference? Now I'm on the other side of Riverside. I just wanted to come over here and check this side. Kind of look at the dashboard a little bit. Let's see how I do this. Switch over to here. And I'm back over to here. You can join the Riverside FM studio and find Dragon's Den 3212 if you want to go there. I just was switching over because I might have missed some of you. And I did. I missed a lot of you in the Dragon's Den room. But I thank you. I have it both posted up. Remember, fans, I'm still learning about some of this stuff because I don't know if you can't see the screen, but there's two screens that I have to go through. And then when Shador calls in, he'll be on the screen where you can see him and me. So I can control that. But I'm having a little trouble moving it around. So if I don't respond to your question during the show, I will certainly respond to it afterwards. You can also, as I looked it up, look me up at Daryl Orlando on Facebook. You'll find me there. I've been on there for years. And you can also view the Dragon's Den. Join the Dragon's Den. The more people that join the Dragon's Den army makes it stronger. You will build this. I take no credit for, like I said earlier, I at one time called a show in and called myself the Dragon Sword just for fun, never knowing the off stream that it would set. But I enjoyed all of the attention, and I mean, no anybody would. I mean, I was pretty popular, but even though I was hated, there were some people that liked me, but a lot more majority were really negative. But I had a lot of fun with it. I met a lot of people. I met a lot of people who taught me a lot of things in life. I met John Caparanis here in Youngstown, Ohio. John Caparanis had a tip of the cap, had one of the greatest shows that you could ever. Never, no negativity on his show. He taught me how to run the board at WBBW 1240. Pat Mulrooney was the executive producer. Jeff Ondash, who me and him had off and on, good times and bad times. We really went at it at some times because Mr. Ondash still to this day knows that the Dragon Sword was way more popular than him. But he would try to put me down. But no matter what he did, he couldn't stop the Dragon Sword Express. Because I had the 50,000 watt WKBN. WBBW is a big radio station, but it's not as big as WKBN, which is a 50,000 watt station that can go from here to Columbus. I attracted the attention of JMO the sports geek, and I didn't even know who he was because I worked. I didn't listen to radio a lot. It was my brother Lyndon, and I also dedicate everything to him, all of this. He created the Dragon Sword. Now, I will give a Dragon's Den t-shirt to the first person. Now, and I'm not one of you people that already know me, okay? The first person that can tell me where the Dragon Sword name came from. It was in 1996. I'll give you that much. Where did it come from? If I give one word, many of these young kids would get it. Many would. I think someone will quickly. But the first person that gets it gets the first official Dragon's Den t-shirt. We're going to be putting these t-shirts up on the market. Dragon's Den hats. You're going to become part of the Dragon's Den army. And together, all of us, no matter we agree to disagree, Even if I don't like what you say, I will give you the chance to say it. More than Jim Rome or most of these talk shows that love to hear themselves talk, we already know what they think every day. Every day it's blah, 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 blah. By the time in 2 years, you fans will build this show to be one of the top shows in this nation. That's my goal. And I owe it all to you. This is yours to build. I will push it forward. I will push it forward. I will get interviews. I will do high school games once a week. I will pick a game out and broadcast high school games of the week for you in the local area. Dragon's Den. All this stuff. And I'm not doing this to make money. I will dedicate all this money from that is made to the research of neurofibromatosis 2, which is my son's disease. It's a spinal disease that he was born with, and in your brain too. He had developed. You can develop tumors in your brain and spine. He just had in November a 10-hour surgery in the Cleveland Clinic, and he had a very tough surgery. But the young man made it through, and he's already back to work. And he's doing fine now. So anything the Dragon's Den can do to raise money to the research of neurofibromatosis 2, that's my goal. Not for me. I don't want to be rich and famous. I like to be famous. You have already made me famous. I know that I'm a winner. The Dragon Sword knows he's a winner. So he comes out sometimes. He's a little more happier now that I've consoled him into this. We're not going to bash on people anymore. We're not going to go negative. We're going to look at the positive things in life. I'm going to switch over to the other one and see if I do this right. If I don't lose you, I lose you. But no. This stream over here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Actual recording. There we are. We're recording. I hope that you recorded all this stuff here. I don't know whether I got it right or not. If all you people heard me. There we go. We're over on this side again. We're on the riverside type of thing. Let's see. Here we go back here. What do you people think of the show so far? Thanks. I appreciate it. Am I being funny? I guess so. A lot of people get a lot of laughs out of me. You want me to continue the Dragon's Den? Well, it'll get better, fans. When I have a producer here right now, I'm running the board by myself. If this show is I can see it, I can feel it. I know that you're gonna help build this show into a positive show, a show that, if, like I said, if you're suffering with depression, if you're young, and you need someone, you don't have anyone to talk to, and you're just feeling down about the world, contact me. If you're feeling that you want to quit drinking, and you know that you have a problem, you can call me. I am all ears. I don't just talk sports. I want to motivate people to do the better things in life. If you have a prescription pill problem, I'm there to help. I beat it. We can do this together. We can enjoy sports together. We can defeat mental illness together. There is not enough attention paid to the mental illness that people have nowadays. And the depression, the negativity in this world does not help it. There isn't a pill for everything. I don't believe in that. I was born with this problem and I've had it long before all them pills were produced. I don't go for big pharma and all their pills. I believe that most of the time I can control this mental illness, but sometimes I haven't. It can overwhelm me. And that's where I understand. I'm not perfect. And I don't ever claim to be perfect and know it all. But I do claim that I have caring about people. And as soon as we get this rolling, we're going to have basketball. We're going to have Jared Durham. And this young man, oh, he's sensational. The knowledge he has about hockey would go with any of those guys on ESPN that you listen to. I think he knows more. I think he knows way more than them. His takes on sports I listen to all the time. I've listened to the young man for 3 years. He's refreshing. He looks at things in a different angle. There's Ryan Flame, who is going to be Northeast Ohio's next big person on the radio, a Browns fan that he is. He is very knowledgeable about wrestling. You want to talk wrestling? We can talk wrestling. You want to talk football? Talk football. But next month, we're going to have Jared calling in. He's not only going to give his predictions for the top 10 teams, he's going to give you predictions for every team in college, including Division I AA. And most of the time, he's right. He predicts for even Division I AA teams. That's how far he studies the sport. You'll really enjoy this young man. I'm going to start bringing young talent into this facility that we all see. There's a lot of competition out there. And I'm putting my nose right in the middle of them now. They all know that now. But now they're all in trouble because the dragon sword is back. And I'm going to take over. You cannot stop me. I have never been defeated. I'm going to say one dedication to Mr. Hogan. What you going to do, Northeast Ohio, when the dragon sword runs over you? See? That's him. That's been him for the last 20 years in the back of my head. Kind of funny. People get a kick out of it. But he is there. There's no doubt that he's a split personality inside of me. And sometimes when he gets that hyped up, I'll come out and he says what he wants to say. And he doesn't pull any punches. I'll tell you another person I met in this business, Scott Farrell. Many of you might know him. He used to have Farrell on the air at night. And he'd have me on his national radio. And he'd pour drinks for me when he'd have, like, he was at the bar, and he'd say, "What do you want to drink?" And he always gave the dragon sword gasoline and nitro. And one time he put me on live air in the national, and it was the dead of winter. And he said on live air, he says, "I bet when you blow your breath outside Northeast Ohio, you melt every driveway in the neighborhood." And I was laughing. And he was a very, very good friend. And I thank him, too. He taught me a lot, Scott Farrell. I think he moved on to New York. I was calling into CBS Sports Radio. There used to be, what is the name, in the morning, DC in the morning. I cannot think right now. He moved to the Sirius Radio now. Oh, I can't think of it. I don't call in that show that has the morning show now. It has the girl and the guy talking on CBS morning radio. But they are their producers are well aware of me. Uh, there have been talks sometime about the Dragon's Den coming to Xfinity Sports. But now they're just watching to see how popular I can get. Because any company, if they see me get that popular, they're going to pop their head in and say, hey, you want to try this on live air? I've done this all my life. And that's like I said, it's my goal to bring attention to many things. And I have the ability to do that. And boy, if I could ever get into Xfinity Sports, there's some of those guys, me and them would have a clash because I disagree with some of the ones that they say. Some of them, there's one on that, can't think, I haven't listened to it for so long. I'll do some research this week and come on the air. But there's one that is on in the afternoon, and all he does is talk for 3 hours straight and maybe take one call. But if you listen to what he says the word I 5,000 times in the next 30 minutes. And I would get on him about it. And then those are the things I look for, and I jab at him. And then one time, the producer was eating cookies while they were. I'll find it and I'll post it up on my board. The producer just he tweeted right back at me. He was throwing cookies at me. So I do have the attention of CBS Sports. I do have the attention of Jim Rome. How much attention I can draw is up to you. Once they see me getting attention, then they will acknowledge me because they want to feed off of my attention. But my intention is to take the clones and not make them anything anymore. I want to make them persons, beings, personalities, positive outlooks on life. Not a take, a positive outlook. When I give you your time to make your statement, you'll have 90 seconds to say what you want. Say whatever you want as long as it's not negative. You can be, not, I wouldn't say not negative, but in a kind way. You understand what I mean without going too far with it. If you have a disagreement like with the team and the way they're running it and the organization stinks, something like that I'll accept. But I'm not going to have no name calling, no nothing like that. I'm not going to have these contests where we're going to, Joe Pete from Frisco is slamming on Beantown over there and using that kind of propaganda and having these takeoffs and smack-offs. And so I ain't going to do that kind of thing. I'm going to have you versus one person else. You're going to have one thing, and it's going to be what we talk about during that show. You're going to state your case. The other's going to state their case. And then you, the fans, will decide who the winner is. We're going to have tournaments like that. And then we're going to draw winners from it. Those are going to be our defending champions and become the champions to beat on the Dragon's Den. So you can work your way up. You can work your way up. As soon as we get the phone lines, hopefully we'll have the phone lines installed by August. I'm trying hard to get it to sit there, but it's, takes some money to do all this kind of stuff. So I have to take it a little bit slow. Can't do it all at once. I'm checking the board just to make sure I don't miss him. I'm hoping. I just want to double check. Continuously uploading. I'm going to go over to the other side here and check because I can't see. I actually can't see if I'm on live for him. That's why. There's the studio. Let me go back to this. If you're gonna take a 5 minute break, Vince, I gotta do something here because if he tries to call in here, I think I'm gonna miss it because I don't have the studio chat line on. So I'm gonna stop for a minute and reset this. I'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying some of what I'm saying. It's some type of entertainment, you know what I mean. I'm back, fans, for one more session. It gets kind of hard sitting here talking, and like I said, soon I'll have other people on with me that can help guide the show. But this is like an introduction of myself to all of you. Once again, I will reiterate what I've talked about so far. This show is about positivity. I myself did name myself the Dragon Sword many, many years ago, but there were many people that brought the Dragon Sword to life, and that was all of you. All of you brought him to life. I gave him a name, you gave him the life. Whether you were positive or negative towards him, you gave him life because you responded to him. We won't go into all those details again, but this show is going to be built for you. I was hoping upon hope, and I still will. One night I will have Shador Sanders on this show. We also have confirmed September 21st is a Sunday. I will be doing a live broadcast and inviting the Browns Nation to join me at it in the parking lot versus the Green Bay Packers. My brother is a Packers fan. That's why I'm not going into the game. I don't have tickets to go in the game, but I can be tailgating outside the game, broadcasting, and putting you, the fans, on live air. I'm going to give you the chance on live air to say what you want to say. Not derogatory, but just be on there. We're going to have a good time. I hear that I've never really been to a big tailgate party, but I hear there's lots of different kinds of foods. I just ask you to bring food to me, man. I love food, all different kinds of food. This show is also about mental illness for young people, older people that have a problem. Myself, I was an alcoholic. I defeated that. I've had problems from a bad accident I had at work with pain pills. I defeated that. With help, I defeated that. That was a very hard thing to defeat. I've gone through the life and made many mistakes. No one's perfect. But I've promised you, the fans, I've promised Browns Nation, I've promised Cleveland, Ohio, that the Dragon Sword was coming. And all of you said it could never happen. But it has. I'm here. And I'm going to run all these talk shows out because I'm going to let you have the format. I'm tired of listening to talk shows where I hear the same opinion all the time, every day, 5 days a week. I want to hear your opinion. I want to create competition. I want to say for the day, we're going to talk about this game. You're going to call in as a Philadelphia fan. You're going to call in as a Cleveland fan. Going to state your cases. Who's better? Who's at what? We're going to have those kind of competitions. And you, the fans, are going to vote who the winner is. When we get it going, we're going to have phone lines to call in. Each of you, 90 seconds. Competition with each other. No takes. No insults. No smack-offs. None of that crap. And again, 20 years later, the Dragon Sword will rise again to defeat Jim Rome once again. I haven't gone nowhere, Jim, and I haven't forgot you, and I know you certainly haven't forgot me. Because the Dragon Sword doesn't care. He's a winner. He's by far a winner because all of you made him the winner. Soon, Xfinity Sports will offer him a show. I guarantee it. The numbers are getting so high. I thank you all already. Since 2 weeks since I started, the Dragon's Den has had 287 hits. But stay there. Like the Dragon's Den. Put a like on the Dragon's Den. Tell me what you want to hear on the Dragon's Den. I have an email at dragonsden321@gmail.com or on Twitter, Dragon Beats Rome in high letters. Dragon Beats Rome. He is the ultimate person I want to raise my level to. That's a high goal, people. That's a very high goal, and that's a very, very, very arrogant man that thinks he cannot be toppled. But you have to start from the bottom. Work your way up. Stay positive about yourself. If you're young out there and you need to talk to someone, my ears are always open. I don't even have to be on the radio or on the YouTube. I will listen to you, everything you have to say. I may not have all the answers, but I'll be there to listen. If you're having a problem with alcohol, if you're having a problem with drugs, if you're having thinking suicide, please contact me. We'll talk about things because you've got to turn it around, my friends. Can't go this negativity no more. It only dwells you. It almost took me out. Depression and just dwelling down and feeling bad. But it makes you stronger. It really does. Only the strong ones have learned to be alone and learn that silence is golden. Silence can be the most perfect weapon in the world. We're going to talk about the WWE soon, the state of it. The Seth Rollins injury, what a fake. But they tried to play that off. I'm telling you right now, he ain't hurt. He's going to come out at SummerSlam, and everybody's going to go, "Oh, Seth Rollins isn't hurt." I knew it all along because they don't do injuries like that. If he was out, they instantly would have said he had surgery. Like when Triple H, I don't know if a lot of you remember when Triple H wrestled and he ripped half his leg off, but they immediately did that. And he took him out, and he was out for a year with that kind of an injury. It's too bad that they want to play this kind of way on here because the Cena thing, I think Cena's got to go babyface again very soon because he's not going to end his career. That's why Hogan turned back over. He wasn't going to end his career as a heel, although that was one of the most astonishing things. That's where WCW, man, they almost beat the WWE. If they just would have had a little more control of their wrestlers. They were on top of WWE for many, many years, and because they brought a fresh look. I was so into the NWO. I mean, everybody had an NWO shirt. You either had an NWO shirt, red or white, or you had an Austin 316. The most amazing thing I ever heard was when Austin got on the King of the Ring, and when he said, "You talk about your Johns, you talk about your John 316, Austin 316 means I just whooped your ass." And by the next night, I'm telling you, WWE reported 1 million orders for that t-shirt. 1 million. And then WWE is in Paul Levesque's hands right now. And someday I hope to get Paul Levesque on this show. I have tweeted him up quite a few times, and he's responded once or twice, just a word or two. But, I mean, Rome isn't built in a day. I have to keep just pecking away at it, and I can get these people on here. Because Paul Levesque and Shawn Michaels, they had a vision a long time ago for wrestling, and they're bringing it to fruition now. And wrestling is about to get as hot as it once was 20 years ago. And Hogan, like I said, my friend Hogan, I was never a fan. I was never a Hulkamaniac. I always was against your leg drop. I was so happy when the Warrior press slammed you and beat you. I was in the Packard Music Hall. My wife was a big Hogan fan, and I said the Warrior is going to beat him. Then he did. And as a matter of fact, the night my first son was born, the Ultimate Warrior was in town here in Youngstown. I came home, and my son was on his way. He didn't get out in time to see the Warrior, but he almost did. But I want to also let you know that, like, I have all my children are grown, but my youngest child deals with a disease called neurofibromatosis. And there's neurofibromatosis 1 and 2. I believe it's 1 that he has, neurofibromatosis 1. He just had in November a 9-hour surgery on his brain. He's healthy, people, healthy. He got through it in Cleveland. They had discovered a tumor on his brain. They had to remove it. The young man works. He does the best he can, and I'm very, very proud of him. He means the world to me. He's grown up so much. He's been by my side for 10 years now, since my world almost crumbled 10 years ago. But he stood by me. And every money that I raise will be going towards Cleveland and the research of neurofibromatosis. This is a disease, people, that we want none of our children to get. It's a despicable, disgusting disease. It belabors his headaches. He has headaches, but like I said, he has the willpower to persevere through and push through. Together, me and him have helped each other get through these rough times. And now I've decided to step out of the window and let all of you know, okay, I made mistakes, but I've done good things too. I want to hear you say you've done good things. I want to hear about the good things you've done. This is going to change Northeast Ohio. It's all up to you. Browns Nation is backing me. Cleveland Guardians are backing me. Although I want them to be the Cleveland Indians. I'm sorry. I still call them the Indians. I refuse to call them the Guardians. There's no way you'll ever hear me call them the Guardians. They're the Cleveland Indians to me from day till life. If you need to talk to me, my phone number, 234-228-2776. That's my personal phone number for you. If you need someone to talk to and you're really down, I'm willing to listen. I will take the time to try and help, to do what I can to help. As I've said before, this show is just starting. It's taking its baby steps. In the future, we will have Ryan Flame co-hosting this show. One of the most knowledgeable men in Northeast Ohio on many, many different formats. We've gone on Facebook and became the tag team champions of Facebook. Me and him. Because we get rid of those people that heckle us. We only put up with it for so long. And then when the dragon sword comes out, he lights the matchstick and kaboom. So if you want to, call in here and try and be a heckler, I'll give you your 5 minutes of fame. You're welcome to call into the show when the numbers come in. But the more hits you give Dragon's Den, the more powerful it gets. The more subscriptions you give to Dragon's Den, the more powerful it gets. The more powerful I get, the more spreading the word I get. So it's all up to you. It's what you want. I will do. In closing, I'm sorry that I'm just voting and hoping, but I will keep messaging Shador. I'm sure that he really is busy. It doesn't, when he gets a few minutes alone or, some of his own time, I don't blame him. He has to have his own time in life. So eventually these guys will get to know me, trust me, and come on the air. I'm different than most interviewers. I'm not out to just make myself popular. I like to talk about role models. What is your role model? To send me an email, dragonsden321 gmail.com. Tell me your role models. Go in the chat room anytime here at the YouTube studio. Leave a message. I'll get back to you. I promise it. And I know you're out there listening, Luch and Harvey and all these people. Have a take with me. Bring a spin off. Let's have a spin off show. The Dragon's Den versus the Lucha's Den. Together we can talk about wrestling. We can talk about anything, brother. America. You know what I'm talking about, Luchador? America first. I'm sure that soon you'll answer on your video. I want to hear it while you're carrying that cheeseburger. How's that? In the meantime, all of you have a good night. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Dragon Sword out.